Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Well, today we're looking at how AI is actually being used out there in the economy, like right now.
Real world stuff.
Exactly, real world stuff. And we've got this super interesting research paper from Anthropic.
The folks behind the Claude AI, right?
Yep, that's them. And they've done something really cool. They took millions of conversations people had with Claude,
Millions.
millions, and they, get this, mapped them to actual job categories
Wow.
using the U.S. Department of Labor's database, no less.
So we're seeing what jobs are using AI.
And how they're using it, which is even cooler. It's a real-time, data-driven look at how AI is already changing things.
That's a really unique approach, way beyond the usual type,
Totally. Okay, so no killer robots on the horizon just yet. What surprised you most when you dug into this research?
Well, one thing that jumped out was that AI isn't automating entire jobs.
Like a lot of folks are worried about.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being used for specific tasks within jobs, only 4% of occupations are using AI for like 75% or more of their tasks.
So it's more like AI is changing how we work, not replacing us altogether.
Right, it's a powerful tool.
Phew, my job is safe for now.
Haha, for now. But seriously, it's fascinating to see where AI is having the biggest impact.
Right. So which jobs are seeing the most AI action right now?
Well, the research points to three main areas. First up is software development.
Makes sense. AI is like a superpowered coding buddy.
Exactly. It helps with code generation, debugging, all that fun stuff.
Then there's writing. AI is being used to draft everything from technical documents to, wait for it, marketing copy.
Oh yeah, AI is getting pretty good at crafting those catchy slogans. And even creative stuff like poems, scripts, you name it.
Hold on, AI could be writing marketing copy right now. That's kind of mind-blowing.
It is. And the third area is analytical roles. Think data analysis, market research, all that number crunching stuff.
AI crunching numbers, that's no surprise.
But it's not just about the raw processing power. The study also looked at the skills being used in these AI interactions.
So what kind of skills are we talking about?
They found that cognitive skills were heavily represented, things like critical thinking, problem solving, writing.
The AI is doing the brainy stuff, not the muscle work. Makes sense.
Exactly. And the connection to wages is interesting too. AI usage peaks in the upper quartile of wages.
Oh, higher paying jobs are using AI more.
Well, it's not that simple. It actually drops off at both the very high and very low ends of the pay scale.
That is interesting. Why wouldn't the highest paying jobs be using AI the most?
Well, those jobs often involve really complex decision-making, leadership, sometimes even physical tasks that AI just can't handle yet.
Like a surgeon. AI can analyze scans, but it can't operate on its own.
Exactly. And on the other end of the spectrum, those lower-paying jobs might not have adopted AI because of costs or maybe just lack of awareness.
So AI is impacting jobs all over, but it's not just a simple high pay versus low pay thing. It's about the tasks themselves.
Right, and how AI can either automate those tasks or augment how humans do them.
Wait, hold on. Let's make sure everyone's on the same page. What exactly do we mean by automation versus augmentation?
Good point. Think of automation as AI doing a task completely on its own, from start to finish.
Okay, got it.
And augmentation is where AI is more like a partner, helping humans do their jobs better and faster.
So, like, AI could write a whole report by itself, or it could help a human write a better report.
Perfect example. So going back to the study, I was really curious about this automation versus augmentation split.
Me too. Were there more examples of AI replacing humans or working alongside them?
Honestly, that was one of the most surprising findings. It was almost a 50-50 split. 57% augmentative, 43% automative.
Wow, I thought for sure automation would be way ahead.
Me too. But it looks like AI is being used just as much for collaboration as for replacing tasks.
That is super interesting. Can you give us some concrete examples of how this is actually playing out?
Absolutely. They highlight examples like draft and optimize professional business email communications.
Okay, classic automation, no more agonizing over emails. What about augmentation, though?
One example was assist with web development tasks and UI improvements.
So the AI is like a superpowered coding assistant.
Exactly. Suggesting code, finding bugs, even coming up with design ideas.
Wow, it really is getting woven into so many jobs in ways I never even considered.
It is. And here's another layer. Not all AI is created equal. The study compared two versions of Claude, Opus, and Sonnet.
So like different models of cars, each with its own strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. Opus was more popular for creative writing and educational stuff, while Sonnet was better for coding and technical tasks.
So Opus is the poet and Sonnet's the engineer.
Pretty much. And it's likely because they were trained on different kinds of data. Opus probably got fed tons of text and code, while Sonnet was trained on more structured, technical stuff.
It's wild to think about AI models having different strengths and personalities.
Right, kind of like us. And it makes you think about how AI is becoming more specialized as it gets integrated into our work.
Which raises a big question. If AI keeps getting more specialized and integrated, how does that affect us? Like, what skills and education will we need to actually thrive in this future?
That's the big question everyone's trying to figure out. And honestly, this study gives us some hints.
It's like a roadmap, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. As AI takes on those more routine tasks, the things that really make us human, like critical thinking and creative problem solving, become even more valuable.
So it's not just about learning to code. It's about thinking critically about the code that AI might be spitting out.
Right. We need to be the ones steering the ship, not just along for the ride.
I hear a lot about adaptability these days, like it's the skill to have. Does this study give us any clues on how to get ready for these AI-driven changes?
It definitely highlights the need to shake up traditional education. Instead of just memorizing facts, maybe we need to prioritize flexibility, collaboration, and that ability to constantly learn new things.
Because the tech's going to keep changing, right? We can't just learn one thing and be done.
Exactly. Lifelong learning is key.
This has given me a lot to think about, honestly. It's exciting, but a little scary, too.
I think that's a healthy reaction. Be excited about AI's potential, but also aware of the challenges. And this study does a great job of separating hype from reality. It's like, here's what's actually happening.
It's like instead of getting wiped out by the AI wave, we're learning to surf.
Haha, I love that analogy. But we're still pretty early in the wave. This is just the beginning.
So AI adoption's still in its early stages.
Definitely. This is just a snapshot of where things are right now. AI's impact is only going to get bigger from here.
So it's crucial to understand these trends now.
Exactly. So after this deep dive, what are the key things you hope people take away?
Good question. Well, first, that AI's impact is real, and it's happening now. But it's not just about robots taking over like some people think.
Right. It's much more nuanced than that.
And second, that this impact looks different across different jobs and industries. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here.
And third, that AI isn't always a threat. It can actually be a tool for making us better at what we do, not just replacing us.
At least not yet.
Aha, right. And as AI keeps evolving, understanding these nuances is crucial for navigating the future of work.
This deep dive has been eye-opening for me. I bet it is for our listeners, too.
Definitely, and I'd encourage everyone to check out the full study for themselves. We'll link it in the show notes.
Good idea. And on that night, it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you with something to think about. If AI is already doing all this stuff and it's only going to get, like, more powerful, what does that even mean for the future of work? Like, will our jobs even look the same in 10, 20 years?
It's the question, right? I mean, nobody has a crystal ball, but I think this research gives us some pretty solid clues.
Like a compass, kind of?
Yeah, a compass. So instead of just being scared of the unknown, we can use these insights to figure out how to navigate the changes that are coming.
One thing that really got me thinking was that whole automation versus augmentation thing. It's not like a one-way street, with robots just taking over everything.
Totally. It's way more dynamic than that. It's like this ongoing back and forth. As AI gets more sophisticated, yes, some tasks are going to become more automated.
Makes sense.
But that actually frees us up to focus on those higher level tasks, the things that require, human creativity and problem-solving skills. It's an evolution, not just a replacement.
Right, it's like that saying, the future's already here, it's just not evenly distributed yet.
Exactly. Some jobs are already being massively disrupted by AI, while others are just starting to feel the effects.
So different jobs are getting hit at different times.
Right, and that uneven distribution, that's where things get interesting. It creates challenges, sure, but it also creates opportunities.
Opportunities for people to learn new skills, for businesses to innovate, and for policymakers to figure out how to make sure AI benefits everyone.
Absolutely. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about the choices we make, how we adapt, and how we shape the world we want to live in.
It's actually kind of empowering when you think about it that way.
It is. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. We get to decide.
I love that. This whole deep dive has been amazing, honestly. Eye-opening, thought-provoking, maybe a little scary at times, too.
I get it. It's a lot to process, but I think the key takeaway is that we should be excited about AI's potential while also being aware of the challenges.
And working to make sure those benefits are shared by everyone.
Exactly. It's on all of us.
Well said. I think our listeners are ready to go out there and explore the world of AI with a much clearer perspective.
I hope so.
And remember, this isn't sci-fi, folks. It's happening right now. The future of work is being shaped by the choices we make today. So let's make them good ones.
Couldn't agree more. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another fascinating journey into the depths of knowledge.